This is Jerod Lakefield, a novel by Don Fensler, part number 24, The Playoffs. The playoffs were the same. We rolled over opponent after opponent. One we won by 32, one by 22, one by 14, and one by only 7. What these games had in common was that there was never any doubt that we were going to win. Because of Jerod Lakefield, there was never any doubt. In the 32 and 22-point blowouts, he disappeared. He played defense and let the rest of the players have fun and enhance their points per game average. It is the greatest fucking understatement in history that Jerod didn't care about stats. In the closer games, he took charge when needed, and we won comfortably. In the 7-point victory against West Virginia School of the Mines, he scored 37 points, 22 of them in the last 10 minutes. West Virginia was leading 66-50 with 10 minutes to go, and Jerod decided he needed to play, and took over the game, both offensively and defensively. He fucking mercilessly harassed the West Virginia Miners, all 5 players, like a lightning quick, invisible to the eye, want to make you cry octopus. An octopus on speed and ecstasy with a lifetime pass to Starbucks. His hands, his tentacles were everywhere. West Virginia of the Mines was done for when Jerod Lakefield decided they were done for. Every team on earth was done for when Jerod Lakefield fucking decided they were done for. West Virginia scored 8 points that last 10 minutes, and we scored 9, plus Jerod's 22, and won 81-74. West Virginia of the Mines was a fine team, having been in the Final Four in the NAIA the last 3 years in a row. They were done for, and we were now playing in the championship game against Whitworth University from Wisconsin. Whitworth University from Wisconsin had not only been in the Final Four in the NAIA the last 8 years in a row, but it had won the championship 5 of those years. It was a game we should win. We felt we would win, but you never fucking knew what could happen in sports, even with Jerod Lakefield on our team. We were heavily favored because of Jerod Lakefield, but there was something spooky about Jerod. He might decide we should lose. There might be another highway incident. If he decided we should lose, we would lose. That was all there was to it. But there was no reason to believe that Jerod would let us lose. I never said this before, but looking back, I think he changed his mind in the Duke game, right in the middle of it, and decided we would lose. This is blasphemous considering how he single-handedly made us almost beat the Division I team, and not only the Division I team but Duke. But the way Jerod Lakefield controlled things, seemingly life itself, led me to ponder, why didn't we win the Duke game? It's fucking totally blasphemy and foolishness, of course, that question. But maybe he decided it was not time for us to win something that big. I remember his words on the sidelines of that game that, "We won't be able to win this game, Miss Shawn. Our guys will not be able to get the ball to me fast enough." Those words haunted me and haunt me today. Sometimes I look at Jerod Lakefield and fucking don't know what I'm looking at. Whether I'm looking at John the Baptist on the water's edge or Linda Blair's younger brother with his head spinning around like a fucking top. The championship game. The game against Whitworth started. We fell behind 8-0, but I wasn't worried at this point as Jerod was playing his disappearing act. Nothing fucking out of the ordinary. He was on the floor but not really paying attention, not part of the action. Then suddenly he decided to play and sunk 5 threes in a row in a span of 4 minutes. Our other guys were hitting shots too. They were just the other guys. As Jerod could play with 3 gibbons and a panda bear, it didn't matter. We could win. We were ahead 21-12, 10 minutes into the first quarter. The crowd of 13,000 was going nuts. Most of them had never seen Jerod play. It was a sight to behold, like seeing the Egyptian pyramids, the Grand Canyon, and Cleopatra naked all at the same time. But then Jerod disappeared again. He played a little defense. A little defense meant shutting one down man completely, but it was not the frenzy, but it was just kind of hanging out. We fucking fell behind 35-28 with 2 minutes left in the half. Our other guys did nothing to enhance their image as useless fucking sidekicks. The crowd was getting restless. They wanted Jerod to get the ball and do something with it. He kept getting the ball and just passing it off. Sure, he had a man on him, sometimes two, but he had taken and made shots often like that before. Maybe it was because it was the championship game and I was more keyed up and nervous, but it seemed like Jerod Lakefield was not really in this game. It crossed my mind that he may have bigger, better things on his mind. Then, with 90 seconds left, my heart was set aflutter like it had been set aflutter so many times before. It was as if Jerod heard my thoughts and went into the frenzy and scored 8 quick points, totally shutting down the bewildered Whitmouth Panthers and sending us into the locker room with a 36-35 lead at halftime. I did not want us to blow this opportunity to be national champions. Even with all that had happened, all the otherworldly stuff, I still had enough part of this world to want a national championship, or as I like to say, a fucking goddamn national championship. It all depended on Jerod Lakefield, of course. I saw him sitting alone in the locker room at halftime. He was reading a book. It wasn't the Bible, but it was something big like the Bible. Dang. The national championship game, and Jerod Lakefield was doing some casual reading. I wanted to tell him to stay fucking focused on the game, but how could I say such a thing to Jerod Lakefield? I wanted to play big bad coach, but I suddenly felt weak and a little sick to my stomach. I felt humbled and knew the truth. Without Jerod Lakefield, we would all be nothing, just a dozen or so fucking useless, knock-kneed bohunks from Minnesota. But still, I did not want us to blow this. Man, I've never been part of a championship in my life. My T-ball team fucking finished last 12 years in a row. My own parents wore sunglasses to hide their identity when they were with me. I was such a loser. I wanted Jerod Lakefield to understand this. But what could I say? We were saying the other coaching type stuff to the other players at halftime. Got to play better defense. Work the ball inside. Or to Jerod. But Jerod was listening, but not really listening. He looked up from his book. I still don't know what book it was. It wasn't a Bible or a Quran or a Hindi war dance book or anything like that. It seemed like a novel, but I couldn't read the title or author. And Jerod Lakefield's reading habits, to tell the truth, at this moment did not concern me. My obsession was for us to win this championship, something that had never happened before, not even close, and would never happen again, I was sure. This was our only chance. Jerod was only half listening, half reading, but it never seemed to matter what he heard or what you said to him. He still had that impassive, calm look on his face. I felt like I should say something to him, but I didn't know what. What could I say to him besides falling on my knees and beseeching the Lord and the dead, crusty soul of my Aunt Agnes? I wanted to beg without shame. Please don't blow this for us, Jerod. Please, I beg you. I'll give you anything if you play all the rest of the way. Treat us to 20 minutes of the frenzy and let us blow this fucking team out by 25. I've seen you do it. But I did not say this to Jerod Lakefield. I just asked weakly, "How you feeling, Jerod?" And he said to me, "I feel fine. We will win, Michonne. Don't worry. I've seen this game before. Calm yourself. You don't look well." What? What the fuck? We will win this game, Michonne? I've seen this game before? What the? And Jerod Lakefield was right. hearing his words, I did not look or feel fucking well at all one bit.